Holy tzaddikim and tzaddikot, hope everybody is doing great. Obviously, we are living through historic times right now. We're living through history, and it's complicated what's going on in the world right now. Certainly, with the potential deal happening to release at least some of the hostages, and obviously the very, very heavy price that Israel and the Jewish people have to pay for that. And I don't need a comment on the whole thing. I just want to say that, first of all, you're allowed to feel happy about it. You're allowed to feel sad about it. You're allowed to feel, I think, appropriately feel both, a sense of relief. With Hashem's help, we're going to have some of the hostages come home, and also feel very, very scared and sad and upset that the price that we are paying for this is almost seems like unbearable. And I think it's appropriate to feel both things. But I think the main point for us to take from this is, and I've heard many people speak about this, is that nothing happens in this world without the Yad Hashem, the hand of God. And that's what we need to be focusing on. We need to pray extra hard, do extra mitzvot, extra acts of kindness, and beg Hashem to make sure that our hostages are safe and come home soon, and to beg Hashem and pray to Hashem to make sure that the Jewish people are protected and safe from our enemies now and later, right? And that the soldiers come home safely, etc., etc. That's where we need to focus, right? What our opinions on the matter, we like to have these discussions, but the ultimate truth is that we're not really accomplishing anything by that. The government officials, they're not listening to any of us. But Hashem is listening. And Hashem is always listening. And He's looking to hear our prayers, to see if we're turning to Him during this historic moment for the Jewish people. And that's where our attention needs to be. Hashem, please take care of your children. Now, then, and forever. Look after us. Help us make the right decision. Help guide us. Help protect us. I know you're here for us always. Zat Hashem, we should be successful. Okay. There's something at the beginning of this week's parsha. And we're starting a new sefer, Baruch Hashem, Sefer Shmot. We finished Sefer Bereshit, and we're on to the second Sefer Shmot. And the second sefer starts off with the Jewish people they went down to Egypt, and we're entering now into slavery. And there's a new paro. Says the pasuk, Vayakam el chadash al Mitzrayim shelo yadai Yosef. There's a new paro, right? And that new paro does not know Yosef, right? Rashi points out to Machloket whether it was actually the same paro that loved Yosef, and after Yosef died, he just forget about him. Or if it was actually a new paro, and the new paro is like, the old paro might have liked him, but the new paro, who's Yosef? I couldn't care less. Couldn't care less who that guy was. And it always gets me thinking, it's like, how is that possible? Like, Yosef, it's such a big impact on the land of Egypt. Think about this for a second. He saved them, right, by storing all of the extra food and the grain over the 7 good years. And so that they would have it over the 7 difficult years of famine, and that the Egyptians would have enough food to eat over those 7 difficult years. And they would have enough food to provide and to sell to the world. That was all from Yosef. How could it be forgotten so easily? How is that possible? And so, it reminds me of what we're going through right now. I'm not just saying this, of course, because I'm a Jew and I'm a proud Jew. Objectively, when you look at the world, you look at how much the Jewish people have provided for the world through technology, through medicine, through science, innovation, right? How many Nobel Prizes the Jewish people have won over the years. In comparison to others, it's mind-boggling, right? What we brought through. How could it be that the world can turn against us so much? We've given so much to the world and to so many different countries. How many countries? Tragedy strikes in all different types of places all over the world. Allies of ours, not, it doesn't matter. Israel is always sending a team to help out in the crisis. Always. How come the world forgets this? Well, how does that work? They don't see all the contributions that we give. how much we help lift up others, what in the world is going on? And I think that the answer is clear. I think that while there's no doubt that the Jewish people provide so much to others, there's a deep-seated fear by our enemies of the Jewish people becoming too strong and the Jewish people taking over. And the honest truth is that sometimes we want to mix in so much with, all of the other people in the world that the non-Jews are sent by God, and not all non-Jews, but those that are out to hate us, right? Which is not a small number, okay? They are sent by God to remind us that we're meant, of course, to contribute to the world, but we're meant to be different, right? No one recognizes this more than the non-Jew. The non-Jew sees the Jew and says, you're different, right? Whether religious or not religious, Sephardi, Ashkenaz, Hasidic, the non-Jew sees the Jew and says, oh, you're a Jew, you're different. The Jew is like, no, I'm not different, I'm the same. And look how good I am, I bring so much good to the world. And I'm just like you, I'm the same as you. And the non-Jew is like, no, you're not. You're different. And I believe that the secret to our success is embracing the fact that we are different, embracing our culture, embracing our mitzvot, embracing the Torah, embracing the halacha system, being proud of that, not hiding it, not trying to integrate to the point that we're the same as everyone else. We're not the same. We're not the same. We're the Jewish people. We're chosen by God to carry the mantra, right? To carry the torch of godliness in this world. It's a big responsibility. Right? It's a privilege, of course, but it's a big responsibility. And what's amazing to me is that all too often the non-Jews see this. Really, Paro didn't know who Yosef was, or he chose to be like, no, you're a Jew, I'm just going to push you off to the side. Right? I'm going to pretend like you were never here. Because I see your greatness and I can't handle it, so I have to push it away. And I now have to persecute you. And this has been going on for thousands of years. It's the recognition of how great we are that creates the anti-Semitism. It's God sending the anti-Semitism to remind us about how great we are. Now, we don't need to have anti-Semitism. I'm not saying I'm saying it's incumbent upon us that we ourselves, without the reminders, without the terrible, tragic, difficult reminders of the outside world, we ourselves have to remind us the privilege and the responsibility that we have, not only to be Jewish, but to have the Torah and to perform mitzvot. Shtabach Shem Alad, what a zchut, what a privilege it is, and to stand up proud and to declare out loud for everyone to know, I'm a Jew, Am Yisrael Chai. And say it with a sense of pride, and don't hide it. That's the answer. Don't hide it. I'm a Jew, and we're not going anywhere. Am Yisrael Chai. Wishing all the holy tzaddikim and tzaddikot Shabbat Shalom.